I've actually been wondering for the last little bit if Mitchell would ever actually go command his child soldiers in battle. And at this point it seems like no, that simply won't be happening because we're doing the highway from Half-Life 2. So yeah, welcome to Half-Life 2's Greatest Hits album. And as we know, we're not far off from the end now. I know it seems like we only just got started with the actual plot, but this is nearly the end, somehow. So yeah, it's time to embrace the other cool as fuck character the director of this loves. It's Shadow the Hedgehog time, or the Terminator. It's unclear. Regardless, this sequence is the most different this game has been. It's actually changed on the formula somewhat, it's exciting, fresh, and it's tasty. And I cannot believe it is happening. It's time to ride or die, but my ride or die is Gordon Freeman, he doesn't want to ride. And by that I mean he's gonna die, that's what I mean. We have vehicles, a focus on combat, and decent level design. This is what the game should have been the entire time. Like, I'm not going to say that this sequence is super cool and rad, but it's exciting and it feels decent. The motorcycle, however, does have a turning radius larger than most 18-reelers, but it's nippy and it gets you where you need to go in record-breaking time. Plus it feels more original than just spawning in the buggy for a little bit. The game does forcibly take it away from you when you do the sick ramp straight into water, but don't stress. This game spawns bikes everywhere. Plus, we get to experience combat some more, but this time with a focus on range, not CQB. The rifle is really helpful here. It's an instant kill and it has a scope, which means finally weapons are being used for what those weapons are actually used for. The AI is, however, incredibly accurate at range though, which is very annoying, but you also have a rifle, so it does kind of even out. The shitty iron sights on the pulse rifle are once again a letdown though. But the thing is, I have enough ammo now that I don't really need to always hit, so I can just spam and it's fine. And this is for sure the best level in the entire game. It just works. It feels like a game that was made and tested, not a mod. It's quick and fun. The focus on combat is surely appreciated here by me. This game has actually had less combat than it probably should have. There's a lot of zombies and a lot of walking. In this section, we even get to break into a resistance base and do some tactical combat. It's refreshing. The prop placement in the house is a little weak, and the house is also way too big for what it is, but it does work. The house's biggest problem, however, is that we need to go into the basement to shut down an energy shield up ahead. But the chandelier that's meant to fall through the floor to break it doesn't fall no matter what you do. I shot it, I tried to blow it up, but I did decide ultimately to no-clip down there. I killed everyone down there, turned down the shield, and then when I came up, the chandelier broke. So I really don't know. And then the house gets besieged by resistance members. We have to fight our way out to our bike, and then we have to leave the level. And oddly enough, we spawn next to a bike. But didn't we just ride into this level with a bike? And yeah, of course we did. But it's because the devs obviously couldn't figure out how to start us off in the same vehicle we entered the level in. So they put like a backup bike instead in case like it didn't work. This level is also really weird. This level is ultimately just a really long drive, nothing happens. We just drive to a level changer which leads us to another level which is the same as this one pretty much. These are really strange levels that don't make a lot of sense. I think in terms of like a meta reason, they're meant to be like a moment for like self-reflection. So, let's just do that. So, this game's terrible. It has some bad moments. Well, a lot of them really. But it also has some good moments, most of which just actually happened the last level. The narrative makes no sense, and it doesn't even really attempt to make sense. Which makes you wonder if it was meant to, or if it's the kind of writing that only made sense to the writer and no one else. Like it requires his memories and experiences to piece together like some sort of fucked up jigsaw piece. Like I don't understand it, and I think that's the case here. But I think that on an event by event level, the general plot outline is not that complicated or difficult to understand. I know that we want to kill Freeman because we have a grudge. That's all well and good. But the finer details get muddled because we don't really have a character that bounce dialogue off of. That's one of the reasons why Alex is so effective as a companion. She's constantly telling you new stuff. That new stuff might be somewhat useless to the actual narrative, but it's world building. We just don't get that here. Mitchell rarely emotes or communicates outside of cutscenes. So we are often left confused on motives and the who and why of the narrative's events. The Black Mesa East level, for example, was fucking weird. Not because of his gameplay, it was fairly simple in that regard, but Mitchell's motive for wanting to kill Resistance fighters. It's never made clear why Mitchell believes that the Resistance needs to go. Is it solely so he gets a chance at Freeman? Well, maybe. But does that really make any sense? Are we meant to feel sorry for Mitchell, or are we meant to hate him? Because I don't know. We spend so much of the game hearing him inspire others through what are effectively empty promises and even emptier words, but we see him doing it. And we don't get cutscenes of him killing kittens and stuff, right? Like on the surface, him rescuing the kids from the factory was good, and him trying to teach them to fight was good, but at the same time, he rescued kids so that he had an army. So that's an evil thing to do, right? But would it have been eviler to make them stay at the factory? I don't know, and I kind of doubt the writers knew either. It seems like these questions were never asked or were shot down in any meeting the crew had. The game is just really hard to understand. I think that Mitchell is meant to be cool. I think that's the point. I think that's the entire point of his character, is that he's meant to be cool, and that's it. But anyway, we have just had 2 stages with nothing to do but move forward. So let's have a third. We're now in Nova Prospect, and we're hot on the heels of Gordon and Alex. We walk for what seems like 10 minutes across featureless rooms with no signposting or just really general direction. We pass through a lot of corridors. But sadly, because this is like fucking Kingdom Hearts and we never actually get to see Disney characters, they trigger the teleporter before we get there. The place begins to collapse, and for some reason, a door a couple minutes back opens up. But you wouldn't know that unless you got confused like me and walked back and forth a lot. We drop into the sewers again, and we cut to a cutscene. So, for whatever reason, we're in prison now, despite us never seeing it happen. I guess Mitchell got fished out by a Resistance fisherman and thrown in jail. Why not, I guess? Sasha shows up. Her model is clearly the worst in the entire game by far. Her hair looks more like bread than it does anything else.
Who is that?
It's me, Sasha.
Sasha.
I'll get you out of here. I unlocked the door, but you have to wait a few minutes. Then start making your way to the monitor room. I'll be there waiting for you.
Okay, I guess it's clear. Let's go. This is a stealth section, so we still have no idea where to go. We just know that the room has monitors in it. Sure. So much like the Spotlight puzzle 17 years back, this has a lot of problems. The enemies spot you seemingly at random, but we also don't take one hit and die. You can brute force this just by running through them. It is a much better experience that way, trust me. But that doesn't mean that this approach also doesn't have problems. This large open cafeteria does not have an exit, until you notice this bit of fence that has fallen over. That brings us to a vent, that brings us to another cutscene.
The legendary captain himself.
Stop it. You're making me blush.
After all those years, I get to see you again.
I have to admit, I'm surprised you even remembered me. You were pretty young back then.
Sure I was, but I have a good memory. I remember everything. And I remember you saving those children. I always saw you as a hero after that day.
Poor Sasha makes the very bad choice of sparking Mitchell's enormous ego. This makes the poor lad feel bad about himself, so he starts talking about how bad he is. Which I guess clears up my point from 5 minutes ago, doesn't it?
Hero? You're talking to a villain, my dear. The hero inside of me died many, many years ago when I was young.
Mitchell self-IDs as a villain, which is pretty funny. Sasha says a line that might as well define Mitchell's entire character at this point.
Isn't every villain a hero in their own story?
Not in this one.
If you say so.
Back in Alaska, after the factory, what happened?
Me and my father got out of the factory. We were running away. The explosions were everywhere. The whole place caught fire. My father was carrying me. He was struggling to get us out of there. And we managed to get out, but after that, we weren't so lucky. We were walking in the middle of nowhere for days. I could feel my father was afraid and hopeless. The moment we thought we were going to die, help arrived. And that's where it gets all blurry in my mind. The help. It didn't really look like any combine. There was just a man in a suit.
Yeah, the twist is Mitchell's entire life from Black Mesa now has been a result of G-Man fucking with him. It's a weird twist, as it portrays G-Man as a trickster and a savvy investor.
A man in a suit?
Yes, a man in a suit.
Sasha, are you sure that wasn't your father? He was also wearing a suit that day.
He actually wasn't, he was wearing a sort of vest, but sure, whatever. Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss, or whatever.
No, it wasn't him. I'm sure it was someone else. A man with a briefcase.
What did the man say, Sasha? What did he say?
He was talking about some kind of deal?
What deal? Sasha, what deal?
I think I remember the deal. He had to help me.
Aw, fuck, I was actually interested in that. But thanks, Adam.
Mitchell.
Also, remember how I said he was the most important character in Half-Life history? That's about to be explained.
Mitchell, run.
But that's after we do a cheery little run for enemy fire. It's actually really goofy how short this section is.
What the hell are you doing?
Keeping my promise.
Adam, open this goddamn door right now.
Do you remember the first time we met?
God damn it, Adam, just shut your damn mouth and open the door. That's an order.
Listen, Mitchell. The whole place is about to blow up.
Adam, please. You don't have to do this for Freeman.
Freeman? Are you really that stupid? This was never about Freeman, Mitchell. This is just part of the deal.
What deal? What the hell are you talking about?
Follow the tunnel, Mitchell. He's waiting for you on the other side.
What? Who are you? No, not you.
That was part of the deal. Go now. It's time.
It turns out Adam was in on the deal as well. But what has Adam done so far to fulfill his end of it? Well, we need to go meet with G-Man outside first.
Mr. Mitchell, at last. You've done a great deal in a small time.
Cut the bullshit. You liar. You used me.
Let me correct you, Mr. Mitchell. We used each other. Your services were so very useful, and we had a good return for our investments.
You lied to me. You said I was going to hunt him down. You said I was going to kill him. You just let my men die. You caused all this. You did all of this. You bastard.
This bit here highlights more about Mitchell's character than anything else. He's blaming G-Man for killing his men, despite the fact that his plan to sell them to the Combine was his plan. The G-Man didn't tell him to do that. The G-Man just told him where Gordon was.
Well, technically, we were not the one who'd been lying. We asked you to kill Mr. Freeman. We never guaranteed that you would. But liar? No. If there was a liar, it was the one who was always next to you.
Adam, you made him betray me.
Yet again, Mr. Mitchell, he never betrayed. You simply cannot betray someone if you are never on their side, in the first place.
What are you talking about?
If you are looking for the truth, you only have to look at where this all started. Black Mesa.
Yeah, that's why Adam's the most important character in Half-Life lore. It's a lot. The game is just going to play it again so that you get it. Like, it's not obvious or something. But this time it's from Freeman's perspective. Yeah, Adam is the only reason that Freeman has ever lived this long to do the shit he did in Half-Life 2.
All this time, the man I was looking for wasn't Gordon Freeman. He doesn't even know that I exist. So, what now?
Now, since Sasha is dead, the Combine will be looking for you. They will separate their forces from City 17 and come for you. And that will create Mr. Freeman an easier path.
He enabled Mitchell to serve as a distraction for the Combine so that Freeman could do all of Half-Life 2 Episode 1 and 2. Adam is the only reason Freeman lived. This is next level fan fiction shit. A self-insert character that is more important than the franchise's Golden Boy. It is just so fucking funny that the writer thought that this was the best thing they could do, that this needed to be in the game. And like, I see what they're going for. I understand they wanted Mitchell to be like this galactic tier underdog, right? I get it. That his whole life was like in service of this one moment so that someone else could live and get the glory. But in Half-Life 2, we never needed to know this. It underplays Half-Life 2 in a serious way. But that doesn't matter because fucking emo boy Adam is now important. Christ. The only thing they really changed to make this work as well was G-Man. Instead of being like an interdimensional time cop, he's this weird Joker character. He just wants to make people's lives hell and he does it by misleading them. So, like, and this is weird as well because Mitchell is also the brother of Adrian Shepard, right, from Opposing Force. So, it's just another thing that, like, is G-Man just going around poaching people's siblings? Like, yes, come with me. I will make your life hell as well. Like, I just don't get it. G-Man's entire plan depends on random events happening. What if Mitchell didn't rescue the kids from the factory? What if Sasha told him the deal? What if Adam hit him a little bit too hard of a crowbar? What if Adam accidentally revealed the master plan? And also, why was Adam so fucking willing to dedicate his entire life to this? Like, I don't understand why G-Man was changed to be like a supervillain. This also shouldn't change how Mitchell feels about Gordon, but it does. He still killed all of your soldier buddies. That still happened. Or is it just because Mitchell got beaten by someone? Like, did Daddy Mitchell get his ass handed to him and now he's upset and wants to go fuck him up? Like, what the fuck is happening in this narrative? Who the fuck is in the right? What even are the motives anymore? Like, I just don't understand what they were trying to do here. It is not subversive. It's not even good. It's just boring and plagued with problem after problem. And we're not even done.
And since our agreement is finished, you have our permission to die. Farewell, Mr. Mitchell.
We are nearly done, but fuck, we've still got some shit to shift through, so get your shovels, lad, because G-Man just gave us permission to die.
Wait. What if I make it out alive? In one piece?
And Mitchell wants to strike a new deal because that's a good idea. I love G-Man's little shit-eating grin here. He's just so bewildered by the absolute state of this lad. Like, I just fucked this man's life up and he came back for more. The fuck is wrong with this cunt? Jesus. So we're now in the second last level, and this level is literally just running for like a minute, so we're just gonna skip it. So I am gonna be definitely blunt here. This level is quite literally 15 minutes long. And you don't even have to do anything if you choose to. Enemies spawn from across the way and rush at you. But the thing is, they only use the left-hand side, and you get given turrets. If you set them up right, you can just go watch TV or something, and just set a timer and come back. It is simple, it is laughable, and it is fucking funny. This game has heaps of problems, right? But they're all underpinned by the core problem that is a lack of direction. This game can never decide if you should run or fight. It never tells you where you should go or what you should do. And the more infuriating part is, this game is fully playable now. It's just the game is so bad. Like, sure, you have to no-clip a couple times. You might still get stuck on the floor. But at least it's playable. The plot, makes no sense. We have characters pulled from fifth graders' fucking notepad. We have weapons that, while they feel okay, don't really fit a purpose. We have fucking direction that lacks cues. We don't have audio cues, visual clues. We can't even rely on our own knowledge of the medium because normal knowledge of video games doesn't apply here. The lack of motivation for both the core character and us is also a massive fucking problem. It is just so shit that this is a Half-Life mod that was billed as being the ultimate experience for a Half-Life fan, but they kind of just ignore the foundations of Half-Life. They instead trip over it and build this fucking hastily drawn plan in fucking crayon on a fucking wall. But let's return to the game again. We call Nick, who tells us that everyone thought we were dead. And Adam is back and he's telling everyone that we died. So we tell Nick the truth. Turns out after Sasha died, the Combine turned on us and started hunting us down instead. Just like the G-Man said. So Nick is going to send a helicopter to come get us or something. But it will be literally 15 minutes. And maybe he's taking his time because the last time we spoke to him, he accused us of using our child soldiers as child soldiers. Maybe. Who the fuck knows? And also, this 15 minutes does not speed up. Right? It's not like it's 15 minutes, but it's actually 7.5. It does not move like a 2-to-1 scale. It is actually 15 minutes long. It is so fucking long. It is the longest level in the entire game. It's also the easiest. If you can set up turrets and shoot down this one walkway, you will win. It is fucked. It is such a weak finale. It is the same wave of enemies over and over and over and over and over again for, 15 minutes. It just keeps going. So let's just fucking skip this and go right to the last cutscene of the game, okay? Fuck it. So I'm just gonna let this play out. I think you need to experience it in full. Plus, I think both you and I have earned this.
Nick! Where the hell were you?
Impossible.
Adam!
Mitch, please. Mitchell, look, I can explain.
You lied to me.
No, that wasn't the deal. He told me. Mitch,
You
please.
betrayed me. You used me. You fucked up my face. And now,
Mitch, please. I can explain.
you have my permission to die.
Ready for your orders, Captain.
Turn the ship. We're going to Borealis.
So, yeah. That was Hunt Down the Freeman. Sorry, I mean Half-Life 3. This game is really hard to like. It's cheesy, it's shit. But the cinematics are fun and quirky. But then you have to walk for 10 minutes in the frozen valley just so you can climb some pipes. This is a fan game for a series that is responsible for 2 massive switch-ups in the first-person shooter market. And this is what they call the ultimate experience. Lots of ambition but no direction or drive to make the game good. And I can see what they wanted to do. Each level is them trying to expand the content from Half-Life 2. But they do so with no real understanding of basic design principles, so it just all falls apart. There is no trace of Half-Life 2 in this game other than surface level details, and I guess the general background of the plot. It is just sad. And I hope the sequel is better, because yeah, this is apparently getting a sequel. God help us all. But if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe. This video took way too long to make, and I will appreciate their support. Thanks for watching.